Everyone's been asking me about my gumbo. How do you make a real Cajun gumbo? And I've put some tutorials kind of on Facebook, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it on Ursula's Kitchen Hacks because I'm trying to show you how to cook things quick and easy and deliciously. And HEB makes this real easy in the area of gumbo because you can already get everything chopped up, you can buy the meat, everything's already kind of done for you, and I'm going to show you how to utilize all of these hacks in order to make a gumbo that tastes like you chopped everything up by hand and grandma was looking over your shoulder while you made it. The first thing is the roux. Roux is a mixture of fat and flour. It can be any kind of fat, but we're going to try to make a quick roux. So we're going to cook it on a high temperature, so we need like a canola oil that can have a high heat level. But you can also use margarine, some people do that, and some people use other types of oil, including duck fat. But just keep in mind, the higher level that you cook it at, the faster you're gonna make your roux, because the roux can take 30, 40 minutes of constant stirring, so you wanna do it as fast as you can. Okay, so we're gonna put equal parts of oil and flour. So 1 cup of oil, and we add to that 1 cup of flour. We put it in our heaviest metal pot that we have. If you have a Dutch oven, use the Dutch oven, okay? Half a cup of flour. Half a cup of flour. This is a thickening agent. That's all a roux is. It's what it takes to make a roux taste good. So we're going to mix this up. If you find that it's too thick, add a little bit more oil. But as you can see, it's just going to look like this vanilla color. As we cook on our medium high heat, we're going to keep stirring it until it covers the pan in a dark, almost Hershey's chocolate bar color brown. Now, I'm going to show you a hack. You can order this already made online at any number of Cajun specialty shops, butcher shops like Don's Specialty Meats. They're online, they have an online store, and they will ship this to you. So everything, all of this trouble, you don't have to do it. It's in a jar, all right? And you can get it in different colors. This is kind of a peanut butter color, which is good for like a crawfish étouffée or something like that. I usually cook my gumbo in the darkest possible way. You don't want to burn this, so you have to stir while it cooks. And yeah, it's a pain, but listen, this is a 300-year-old French cuisine, culinary technique. Nobody's come up with a better way of doing it, so we're still doing it like they did it 300 years ago. Or you can buy it in a jar, okay? Our secret. Okay, you know that husband of yours that's sitting in the armchair watching the football game right now? Or maybe those kids who are online playing games? This is when they come in handy. When your arm starts to get tired, it's their turn to stir. Keep in mind though, this stuff is, that's my husband saying no. Listen. He likes the gumbo more than anybody else in the house. He'll stir it if he has to. What I was going to say, though, is that keep in mind, this is hot oil and flour. This stirring business, it just sounds kind of mindless, but you do not want to get splattered with any of this, and you don't want your children to either if they're too young to do this with any degree of deft. So go ahead and do it yourself if you're worried, but do not get this mixture on you, because it will leave a big burn, and I've got burns from doing this as a child when I was not paying attention to what I was doing. Shh, I got him to do it. It's monotonous. But if you start seeing black specks in here, come bring the camera in so they can see. See how it's cooking up? You can see it kind of boiling there. You got to keep moving it. Constant movement. If you see little black specks showing up, you are burning your roux and you're going to have to start over again. I'm gonna lower my heat a little bit. I'm gonna try and make this roux in about 15 minutes, but it's gonna take a lot of arm power. Okay, we're getting there. I've been doing this about 10 minutes, and you see how dark it is? It's about the color of the stuff you would buy in the jar. But what we're wanting to do is get to the color of that. This is another little cheat that you can order online. It's Tony Chachere's Creole cuisine, and it's an instant roux mix, and it's already got it pretty dark. So this is for your gumbo. But you see, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get it to about the color of a Hershey's chocolate bar. Now, I'm gonna reiterate, this stuff is like acid. You don't want it to get on you, okay? So this is where it gets very crucial that you don't splatter around. This stuff is super, super hot. Now, while you've got your base of your gumbo warming back up again with the chicken broth, now is your time to get your meats ready. Now you can buy a rotisserie chicken that's already cooked, debone it, and throw it in the pot. Or you can get the already shredded chicken. Now, if you're a dark meat aficionado, which is really good in gumbo, you need to get the whole chicken. Or you can just get the packages of white meat chicken that you can get at the grocery store. Most of these pieces are gonna be a little too big, so you just gotta run your knife through them and get them down to bite size. Some of it's already shredded, but obviously some of it isn't. You like a big meaty gumbo? Put 2 packages. But what I like to do is I like to add sausage to my chicken and sausage gumbo. You can buy regular kielbasa sausage. I'm gonna throw in some of this jalapeno sausage, which I think is gonna be really yummy. Or if you've already picked up on the fact that you could order Cajun food online and get it delivered to your door, you can order Cajun sausage and andouille online at any number of Cajun specialty meat markets. I hate to say this, but don't buy it out of Beaumont or Houston or somewhere else in Texas. You really do need to buy it out of areas like Cankton, Louisiana, Scott, Louisiana, Opelousas, Krotz Springs. Look on the map where that sausage is made, because if it's not made in the heart of Cajun country, it's not gonna make your gumbo taste all that fantastic. But I have made a gumbo with a spicy kielbasa, and I've made it with this jalapeno, and it's pretty darn good. It just has a little bit of a different flavor. So I'm slicing up this jalapeno sausage, and I'm kind of doing it on an angle to give a little bit more surface to the sausage. If you cut it just straight on, it's actually smaller in the surface that kind of goes into your gumbo. Ah. You can get a close-up of this. I'm going to put it all in the pot. And look at that. You've got a gumbo going. But there's one more thing we're going to add as it cooks. There's a lot of seasoning already in that sausage, especially if you're using the Cajun sausage. But this is the go-to for Cajun seasoning, and I'm going to add a good 2 or 3 tablespoons of this in there. It's just got everything you need to bring out the flavor of your chicken. It doesn't look like great looking gumbo to me right now with all this green stuff floating around, but that's all gonna go away because this is gonna cook on your the top of your stove for a couple of hours easily. Or you can do this in an Instapot and actually have your gumbo ready in an hour. So it just depends. I have done it both ways and there's no difference in how it tastes. You can cook it in here, you can put it in a slow cooker for the day. The more you cook it, and even if you cook it, then put it in the refrigerator and then warm it up the next day, it's actually better the next day because all of those flavors will have married overnight. Cook up some rice and bon appetit.